Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. This is going to be a short one. I know that's how I love to open up all of my readings, but this one actually is going to be a short one because I've got my little man with me today and I'm about to take him to the dentist, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm shitting bricks. So I just had to kind of take away my own motherly anxiety and tune into your energy, which I've just done. And there was something I was going to say to you, but it's just slipped my mind because I'm looking at that star and it's feeling very auspicious. It's almost like I can't take my eyes off it. And it reminds me of something I was told. Oh, don't do this to me, please. Who's doing this to me right now? I'm in a hurry. And I cannot take my eyes off it. This has never happened before in a reading. Look, it reminds me of something that happened yesterday, actually. I was in a deep prayer / meditation session. And the reason I say slash is because it really is both. It's prayer and meditation. Because when you're praying, you're speaking. But when you meditate, it's more receptive. And it's more about, I don't really just want to talk to you. I want to connect with you, God. And so it was both. And something really beautiful was said to me. God said, do I have your attention or do I have your intention? And then we proceeded to have a very long conversation about that. But first, he showed me something. As he likes to show me things first, and then he explains. So please excuse the pronoun. It's just that's how I grew up speaking about God. I'm fully aware God is not male. He showed me, so there was a blind. I've got blinds in the kitchen, and they were flapping. And then there was one blind, one flap, I guess, that was flapping a little bit more than the others. And first he showed me that catching my attention because it made a noise, and I looked at it, and then I just turned my attention back to what I was doing. So it really was insignificant. And then, same blind, he had me look at it again, and this time I just zeroed in on that flap, completely zeroed in on that flap, and started walking towards it. And I wanted to know why it was flapping more than the others. And then I was like, is it because there's a particular gust of wind coming in at that angle that's stronger than the others? Or is it perhaps that it's a little bit weaker at the top and that's why it's flapping more? And it didn't matter about the answer. That wasn't important. The fact is he showed me that I was so fixated on this flap and I was, overthinking it. And that is the other extreme. So he showed me two extremes, the difference between attention and intention. And the thing is that the flap is just a flap. It hasn't changed. It's the exact same flap, but it's the way you perceive it, or the attention that you give it, or the intention that you give it, that'll vary its meaning. And I don't know why you want me to tell somebody this now, but obviously, because that's how I was with that flap. And it's beige, so beige is not a color that will ever usually get my attention or intention for very long. But somebody needed to hear that. And just bear that in mind with your relationships as well. Because something else I was told is that if there's a soul connection that exists between two people, if one person has the other's attention, but the other one has the other one's intention, I hope this is making sense. You might need to re-listen to it. The actual connection itself is not gone or is not dead until that intention is removed. So where they both get to the point where they now have no intention of moving towards each other. When both parties feel that way, that's when the connection is dead. So someone might need to hear that too. Anywho, we're already at 4 minutes and I was hoping to do it in 5. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I was just praying for a miracle before this too for my son. What have we got? Chaos. Okay, that's interesting because I said it was auspicious, but what's going on? I need a little bit more about the chaos. Truth. Okay, so someone's about to find out something potentially that it's going to shake them up a little bit. It may be related to what I said, but it also may not be. It might not be either. It could just also be that accepting the truth about something is going to cause chaos in life as you knew it. Because the truth will prevail. And it feels to me like he's actually up in the clouds, like he's ascended. You see, he's up in the clouds, whereas down here we were on earth. So somebody might have gone through an ascension process where they're discovering who they truly are. And yeah, that is always chaotic. But it's leading to good. Thank God for a good card. Truly. Thank God for that. It's leading to abundance. Okay. It's not a bad thing. But sometimes, yeah, it has to hurt if it's to heal. Meaning, you had to heal the part of you that was okay with living a lie. To varying degrees, but yeah, it's going to lead to your happiness. And once again, going up, 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 up. It reminds me of something my son said, the same son who's outside now, actually. He drew a picture yesterday. And I'm telling you this because it's flowing out, so it might be for somebody as well. Even if it's just a perspective you'd never thought of. Because it was for me, definitely. It was an eye-opener for me. It was a truth that I hadn't contemplated myself. Children are wonderful like that. He drew a picture, and it was of an ant up in the sky. And I said, why is the ant in the sky? And he said, because no one can step on it anymore. And I'm just thinking, is there somebody watching this who maybe has been stepped on a lot? And now they're in their power. And now you're up in the sky. I mean, look at him. Who's going to mess with him? No one's stepping on this guy. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. It's beautiful. It's like everything's linking in this reading. I'll go 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Patience. Well, it can take a while for all the pieces to be moved to where they need to move for your new reality to actually be concrete. It's not an easy process. But this is also the past, yeah? In the reading, this is the past energy, and then we are moving forward. We are moving towards happiness. It is definitely worth the wait, I'm being told. Yeah, and it's a kind of magic. I love when this card comes up. I don't feel I need to elaborate because I know a lot of my viewers, mostly our viewers, you're a small group, but you're pretty loyal. You've been watching most of my readings, so I really don't need to articulate anything to do with this card because you get it. An adventure, yeah. Well, it is going to be an adventure, and this is actually making me happy because I've been talking in previous readings about how the life you knew that you thought was safe, you thought it was a safe house, it turned out that it really isn't that safe because if you overstay your welcome in that life, then I said to you, I think it was in the very last reading, that the universe will just give you the boot anyway. And you don't want to do it on the universe's terms. That's unpleasant. That same life will choke you eventually. If you're meant to have moved on, it will start to choke you. So it's not really safe anymore. And the beautiful thing is that once you accept that truth and you say yes to adventure, which essentially just means not knowing where you're going to end up. Not knowing, it's about the not knowing. Doesn't mean you have to go and ride a camel, although I would recommend it. It's pretty fun. But it's more referring to the fact that, if you go, I've said this in a previous reading as well. If you go on a trip, for example, then you know where you're going. You have an itinerary. If you go on an adventure, there's a lot of things that you don't know. So, yeah, some of you are really being encouraged to do that because, look, it's so auspicious. And I started the reading by saying that. It leads to abundance. It leads to happiness. It leads to magic, which is something that a lot of you might have given up on. And I'm referring to just that X factor, yeah? You know how sometimes you say a certain person has the X factor? And for some of you watching, there may be a person who, for you, just has that X factor that no one else has. There's a reason for that. It's not an accident. But it's also about living a life that doesn't just feel like it's okay or like you're fairly content. It actually feels like your life now has the X factor. It's what you didn't dare to believe in for so long, but it's 100% achievable. As long as you're willing to, I want to say, ruffle a few feathers and be patient and understand that it might not come together like that, but it will. And for once in my life, I'm actually just going to shut up now and not do another row. There we go. I really hope this helps you, and I will hopefully try and do a longer one on Friday. All right, take care.